I'm excited to talk to you because I've
Nice.
always been a fan of the Seattle music scene for a long time. And before we get into your new album that comes out next month, here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. I want to know where your passion for music came from. Was a certain album inspired it, a certain live performance, or something that was natural for you as a child?
I think I was just born with it. Like as early as like even before I went to school, I was like rewriting songs around the radio and and putting in whatever. If I was into GI Joe at the time, I was changing the lyrics to accommodate my Snow Patrol, GI Joe adventures, and Star Wars and all sorts of stuff. So, but I really do remember just loving songs even before I went to school and like already entertaining writing songs really at that early of an age, maybe like 5 or 6 years old. So it's like one of those things that it's kind of a cliche, but people are like, I didn't choose music, it chose me kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I love it. Well, can you talk about forming this great rock and blues band, Walking Papers, you got? I mean, you've been collaborating with, Duff from Guns N' Roses, Mike McCready from Pearl Jam, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty proud of the fact that like, like, I mean, I guess it's not proud, but it's a different way. We got a hummingbird here. That
Oh,
was amazing. But they have
yeah.
yeah, buzzing me. But some people get curated by like maybe a manager finds them or a record label finds them.
Mhm.
And like, especially during maybe I was a little bit too young to hit the grunge wave at the time, but I witnessed that as a young kid.
Mhm.
And then I was kind of hanging. And as I was playing, I started to meet some people and this and that. And I think some of those guys kind of earmarked me for someone to play with. And so, I just started finding myself at I'd be playing a show to, maybe 60, 80 people. And one of them would happen to be Duff McKagan, you know, and then maybe we would play some other concerts and we go to Los Angeles and one of the members would be Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols, And so these people just kind of, I feel like they kind of curated me. And with Walking Papers, I was playing a show and it was Barrett Martin from the Screaming Trees. And he,
Cool.
hey man, you want to get together and play? And we did. And then he had some studio time and they're like, let's record some of the stuff we were jamming on. And that's what turned into the first Walking Papers record. And of course, through meeting those guys, they started bringing in, I had already known Duff, so we're like, and Barrett knew him, so we're like, hey, why don't you play on some songs? And it was really just organic and friendly, no like career ambitions.
Yeah.
But for me, it was pretty cool to be, the doors that were open for me were not open necessarily by businessmen. They were opened by, fellow musicians that I looked up to and grew up listening to. So it was I
Uh,
feel pretty good to have had that be my in, you
yeah,
know?
that's amazing. So, yeah, your new album comes out next month. I really like the album cover. I assume it's kind of influenced by your lyrics in the song "The Value of Zero," where it's "I'm the scissors, you're the string." Is that where it came from?
Yeah, I had said this girl that does some work for us. She also puts on plays, and she put on some play that was based on Greek mythology or something. And they had like the three fates, I guess. I don't know my Greek mythology all that great, but apparently there's some fates in the sky, and they're like entertaining. Like they cut the thread of your life, you know, and
Mhm.
uh and I just like that connection I thought that it was kind of sassy to be like, it'd make a good t-shirt, like you'd have like say you, and it would show the scissors. I mean, the string, and me show the scissors. I just kind of like that.
Yeah. Do you actually have a T-shirt of that, or you're
No,
planning?
I think I have planned maybe making one, but maybe just like a stick figure hand drawn one for that kind. I think that would make a good t-shirt.
Yeah, very
No
cool.
band, but that, yeah, it was kind of based on that. And then what's funny is we were using a copy machine, like an old copy machine, kind of inspired by the fanzines and stuff of the 80s and 90s. And
Oh yeah.
so we were making some flyers and some artwork with that. And so then we shot these scissors to kind of tie it into the cover. And then it's funny is we had an old title for a while called The Light Below. And then we thought that was kind of interesting that it was like, that's, on the copy machine, it's actually a light from underneath that's shooting that. And so it all just kind of came together.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I remember I was in bands in high school and early college, and it was just fun designing flyers and going to the copy machine and taping the stuff together.
Oh, I
Make sure it
loved it.
stays down to get it. That's awesome.
It's funny is being here in Seattle and in the 90s, like if you wanted to find the whole rock scene, it was happening at midnight on a Monday night at a Kinko's. You know what I mean? Because everyone would be in. You'd have all sorts of, from every different genre, all in there making their flyers over the, in the nighttime when you could go, and there was all these ways to hack the copy machine keys. Like how many copies you did. We were getting into even like they would have red, blue, and black, and we were getting into doing like 3-color separations on a Kinko's copy machine by running the same piece of paper and leaving a blank spot. You'd run it through, put the black on it, leave a blank spot, and then you'd run it through again and put the red on it. So,
Oh, wow.
And then we would argue with them like, hey, we only used the copy machine. We only bought one 8-cent piece of paper. We just ran it through the machine 3 times.
That's amazing. Well,
Yeah, it
speaking
was so
of that, did you ever get to see like any of those like great grunge bands back in those early 90s? I was kind of too young, and they, I was 11 when Smells Like Teen Spirit like hit big, like did you ever see Nirvana or any other bands back then?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen most of them, but my first show I was 14 was actually Alice in Chains. So my first, not a big show, it was like a local show. So like maybe 150 people. And then the second show I saw was at the Renton Musicians Hall. You can actually look it up in 1988. You can see it on YouTube. But they'll probably be like, thanks, dude, for telling everybody about that. But and then the next one I saw was them and Mother Love Bone at Kent Skate King.
Wow.
And so I was 14 years old, and at the time those shows were maybe the first show might have had 120 people, the second one was maybe 200 people, and and then I've probably seen I ended up actually opening up for Mother Love Bone when I was like 15.
Wow.
Like one of the last shows they played, because I was from Tacoma, not Seattle, but we would drive up here to see the bands. And then when big bands would come down to Tacoma, they knew that if someone figured out that if they put us on the bill, they would have our 200 friends. I wouldn't call them fans, I'd call them friends, because I'm not sure they really cared.
That's how you always start out as a band,
though,
beg your friends to
come
to see you.
Yeah, I was
that's great. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Alice in Chains tribute thing that the M-Pop Museum just had, and that was really cool. So
yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job considering all the restrictions and everything that's going on right now. I think they were pretty bummed about it because they wanted to do the show and actually be able to be at the show and play the stuff live, but then they had to improvise to make something happen.
Yeah, I understand. So I still love the art form of music videos. Talk about the value of zero. It's kind of very like easy just for you in the door, but it's really cool actually.
Yeah, we just had this whole, I don't know, I think I don't know, we've just been kind of getting into it because what do you do now? You know, we used to not really put that much energy into it. And we used to be, if we did a video, we wanted to kind of play live and just kind of be a band rather than like an actor. But then I think somewhere with this record, we kind of got into the idea, which is the first one was, what did you expect? And we kind of just had an idea, and we, shot these things on an iPhone and just kind of took our time. But then we kind of just made ourselves available to trying to make it as good as we could, and then kind of learning the process. So now we're on our third one with this Divine Intervention, but the value is zero. We kind of, like maybe the Twilight idea, if you opened this door to another parallel universe or something like that,
I dug that. I want to get into Divine Intervention, which you combined it with your other song, Stood Up at the Gates of Heaven. It's like this 12-minute, great, kind of a short film basically at this motel,
Yeah, and I was saying with the scissors thing, we was just like basically you're cutting the thread of the relationship, and the same thing with the door, you're stepping through a threshold into a new reality. And then I think with the Divine Intervention was they were we really had no idea. I was actually getting my picture taken in front of the marquee for press photo. And then I was like, hey man, just film this let's just film this a couple times. Let's run the song and I'll sing it and maybe it'll become part of the video. And then we just developed this whole concept of like, well, what's going on at this hotel? And, you know, and it really like on the spot. And then the next night we just started filming it. 2 days later, we're chopping up all, you know, then we're like, it's snowing. Let's run outside and, you know, film this. And my friend just happened to have a badass car. And then we're like, you know, then we're like, maybe, and then Ben would be like, maybe he's running you over. And then, you know, and it just grew into this thing. And we're like, you should be the guy that's driving the car, you know? So I think that that was the key to the whole thing, is like making yourself available to ideas to happen. You know, some people are like waiting. Some people are like, well, when I have an idea, maybe I'll pursue it. And that's an approach. All out in their head. We were more David Lynch approach of oh, we have an idea. There's a marquee. Let's start there. And then and let's have faith that as we're doing that, new ideas will present themselves, and we'll more like a collage. And then we'll cut all those pieces and glue them together when into something.
Very natural, like how putting your band together and getting all the other people that worked with you. It's cool.
Yeah, I think it's spontaneous and fun, but I think life's like that. Some people really want to control it, and other people are free to let it, you know, be a leaf in the wind, you know?
Gotcha. Well, everyone, their new album, The Light Below, comes out February 5th. Pre-order is available now. And anything you in the works for this year, you know, maybe some live streams, upcoming music videos, maybe an actual concert at some point, you know?
We do have a couple more videos. We're probably going to continue with that just because we've been enjoying it. The live streaming, we've filmed a little bit of stuff and done some stuff, but it is hard to do it well.
Yeah.
You know?
And
we'll probably put out a couple things, at least some lo-fi acoustic stuff, but we did set up a recording thing in our room, but so far we haven't been satisfied with it feeling like capturing the energy of what our band sounds like live. So getting some stripped down stuff sounds pretty good and seems real, but like it's kind of hard to put the power of a band into a telephone, you know? So we're working on it. And if we come across something we feel worthy of our fans' attention, you know, then we'll get into some of that. But definitely a couple music videos on the way, and then definitely some more kind of intimate kind of acoustic stuff. And if we can figure out how to make it exciting and real and not like diminish what we're doing, then we'll get into some live streaming full band stuff. But we are trying.
Cool.
But I guess
I'll
that's
be watching
the
it if you do it. So thank you for taking time to talk to me. Congrats on the new album. I can't wait to hear the full thing next month.
Awesome. Looking forward to hear it. Thank you for your time. You have a good day.